When a young person full of hope and a desire to serve takes the oath of enlistment, it's a moment etched in their memory forever. It signifies a commitment, a dedication to something larger than themselves. They make a profound promise, a solemn vow witnessed by their peers, their families, and the nation they are about to defend. This promise isn't taken lightly, it's a cornerstone of their military journey. To support and defend the Constitution, the very foundation of our freedoms and liberties, against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It's a promise to uphold the values that define us as a nation, dedicating their lives to service, putting their own well-being second to the needs of the country. They pledge to stand ready, willing to sacrifice everything for the safety and security of the American people. In return, our nation makes an unspoken promise, a commitment that extends beyond words and formal agreements. It's a bond built on trust, sacrifice, and mutual respect, to honor their service and care for them if they are harmed, ensuring they receive the medical attention, support, and resources they need to heal and rebuild their lives. This includes physical wounds, mental health challenges, and the unseen scars of war. This sacred trust is the foundation of our all-volunteer force, the bedrock upon which our national defense is built. It assures potential recruits that their sacrifices will be recognized and that their well-being will be a priority. But what happens when that path is blocked by injury or illness? When the very bodies and minds that pledge to serve are compromised, what becomes of that unspoken promise? For thousands, this is a painful reality, a harsh and unexpected turn in their military journey. They find themselves facing a system that often seems ill-equipped to handle their unique circumstances. They remain eager to serve, their hearts still filled with the same dedication and commitment that led them to enlist in the first place. Their desire to contribute hasn't diminished, even if their physical capabilities have, but lose their ability to deploy, to fulfill the traditional roles expected of them. Their medical conditions prevent them from participating in overseas missions or combat operations. The system often has only one answer, a seemingly inflexible policy that prioritizes deployability above all else. Separation. An end to their military career, a forced departure from the life they had envisioned and the comrades they had come to rely on. These service members are not quitting, they are not shirking their responsibilities or abandoning their commitment. They are being forced out, pushed aside despite their willingness to continue serving in any capacity possible. Their careers and sense of purpose are shattered, leaving them feeling lost, disillusioned, and uncertain about their future. And the promise our nation made to them feels broken, leaving them questioning the values they swore to defend. They are told that because they cannot deploy, because their bodies or minds are no longer deemed fit for combat, their service is no longer valuable, that their skills, experience, and dedication are no longer needed. This is a profound injustice, undermining the ideals of loyalty and honor our military is built upon, sending a message that sacrifice is only valued when it aligns with perfect physical condition. Their stories are hidden struggles, tales of resilience, perseverance, and the quiet battles fought long after the physical wounds have healed. Stories that demand to be told, stories that deserve to be heard, stories that can inspire change and ensure that the unspoken promise is kept. The promise must be restored, the commitment must be honored, and the system must be reformed to accommodate those who are willing and able to serve, even if they cannot deploy. For all who serve, ensuring that their dedication and sacrifice are recognized and valued, regardless of their physical limitations. At the heart of this issue is the deploy or get out policy. On the surface, it seems logical the military needs a force ready to go anywhere, anytime. But if a service member becomes non-deployable due to injury, illness, or even pregnancy, they're often separated, regardless of their skills or past contributions. This policy treats people as replaceable, ignoring the wide range of roles that don't require deployment. Many critical jobs, logistics, intelligence, cyber training are left unfilled, while capable members are pushed out. The consequences are devastating: lost careers, financial instability, and broken communities. Some are discharged before earning full VA benefits, left to recover alone. This isn't just a bureaucratic failure, it's a moral one. We're abandoning those who sacrificed for us just when they need us most. The message their injury makes them worthless. This policy weakens our military by discarding talent and dedication. Imagine a young man full of vigor and a burning desire to serve his country. He dedicated himself to the rigorous training required to become an aircraft rescue firefighter, a highly specialized and critical role. This isn't just any job, It's one of the most physically and mentally demanding positions in the entire military, requiring peak performance under immense pressure. During a high-stakes training simulation, designed to prepare him for the realities of combat and emergency response, tragedy struck. He suffered a severe and unfortunately permanent injury that would alter the course of his life forever. He could no longer meet the intense physical demands of firefighting, the very thing he had trained so hard to achieve. His dream was slipping away. But despite this setback, his unwavering desire to serve his country, to contribute in any way he could, remained as strong as ever. He was willing to leverage his expertise and experience to teach the next generation of firefighters, to apply his skills in logistics, ensuring vital supplies reached those who needed them, or to fill any support role, contributing his talents and dedication wherever they were needed most. But the system, rigid and unforgiving, saw only his limitation, focusing solely on what he could no longer do. It failed to recognize his potential, the value of his experience, and his unwavering commitment to service. There was no reassignment to a suitable role, no opportunity for retraining to utilize his skills in a different capacity. Instead, there was just a medical discharge, a dismissal that felt like a betrayal of his dedication. His dream, his career, everything he had worked for, was extinguished in an instant, leaving him adrift. He didn't quit, he didn't fail in his duty. He was injured while diligently preparing to serve and protect his country. Yet, he was treated as if he was no longer useful, his contributions forgotten, his potential discarded. The military lost a dedicated and capable member, someone who could have continued to contribute in meaningful ways, and he lost his sense of purpose, the feeling of belonging and the camaraderie he had found in service. Forced out of the only life he knew, he faced not only a permanent injury and the challenges of rehabilitation, but also the crushing knowledge that the institution he loved, the one he had dedicated himself to, had no place for him anymore. Sadly, his story is not unique, it's just one of thousands of similar cases across the armed forces. The human cost of the deploy or get out mentality is very real, and it demands that we reconsider how we treat those who have sacrificed so much for our country. Now, meet a young woman who entered boot camp with passion and determination. She excelled in training, but a severe stress fracture left her unable to continue. Instead of time to heal, she was deemed non-deployable and discharged. Her dream ended before it began, not by choice but by a rigid policy. She was sent home carrying both physical pain and the loss of her future. She didn't quit, she was forced out. Her story exposes a critical flaw. We push recruits to their limits, then discard them when they break. We lose their potential and dedication over injuries that could be managed with compassion. The deploy or get out policy affects not just veterans, but also the newest patriots. We must do better for those willing to serve. Out of these stories, a new mission has emerged. The #ReasonableRanks Campaign, launched by Covenant of Courage. This movement gives voice to those forced out against their will, fighting to reform policies that discard injured heroes. The core belief, a service member's worth is not defined by deployability alone. For every combat role, there are countless essential jobs, administration, intelligence, logistics, where injured but skilled members can serve. #ReasonableRanks demands reassignment opportunities, not separation. Covenant of Courage empowers veterans through community, training, and support. The campaign is not just about helping veterans after the fact, it's about fixing the system. These veterans are turning pain into purpose, demanding our military live up to its values. This is their new mission, and it deserves our support. The fight for #ReasonableRanks is about more than just tweaking a policy or adjusting a regulation. It goes much deeper than that. It's about upholding the very soul of our military, the values we stand for, and the fundamental promise we make as a nation to those who serve. It's about honoring their sacrifices and ensuring they receive the support they deserve, both during and after their service. Forcing out dedicated and willing members of our armed forces simply because they've sustained an injury in the line of duty is not only short-sighted, but it's also a profound betrayal of their commitment and sacrifice. It leads to unnecessary hardship, both financial and emotional, and can result in a devastating loss of identity for individuals who have dedicated their lives to serving our country. The transition back to civilian life is already challenging enough without the added burden of feeling discarded. By providing clear and accessible pathways for continued service, even in non-deployable roles, we can harness the valuable skills and experience of these veterans. In doing so, we not only honor their unwavering commitment, but also actively protect their well-being. ensuring they remain valued members of the military community. The current policy of discharging injured veterans wastes invaluable talent, experience, and resources that could be used to strengthen our military. It forces us to expend significant time and money to recruit and train replacements, often at a higher cost than retaining experienced personnel. This is especially wasteful when those replacements are needed for experienced members who already possess the institutional knowledge and leadership skills necessary to succeed. Retaining injured veterans in suitable, non-deployable roles is not just the right thing to do, it's also a smart and strategic move. It's efficient, cost-effective, and ultimately strengthens our force by leveraging the skills and dedication of those who have already proven their commitment. The way we treat our veterans speaks volumes about our national character and the values we hold dear. Telling dedicated service members that they are disposable after sustaining an injury sends a damaging message. It discourages future volunteers from enlisting and undermines the trust between service members and the military establishment. This creates a culture of fear and uncertainty, making it harder to attract and retain the best and brightest individuals. In contrast, a more inclusive and supportive system builds a more resilient and compassionate military, one that values the contributions of all its members, regardless of their physical limitations. This is a fight for fairness and equality within our military ranks. It's a fight to ensure that a service-ending injury doesn't automatically have to mean the end of a fulfilling and meaningful career. #ReasonableRanks is not asking for the impossible. It asks for a simple, common-sense change to existing policy. It's about giving our injured heroes a choice, the option to continue serving their country in a capacity that aligns with their abilities. It's not a radical or unrealistic demand. It's a reasonable, just, and pragmatic approach to managing our military personnel. We must win this fight, not only for our veterans who have already sacrificed so much, but also for the future of our nation and the integrity of our military. The time for change is now, and we must act with urgency and determination to make it happen. The #ReasonableRanks campaign proposes practical reforms. No reinvention required. The military already has the tools to offer reassignment and recognition. First, create clear pathways for injured or non-deployable personnel to move into roles matching their abilities. When someone is deemed non-deployable, ask, where else can you serve? Many essential jobs are filled by contractors or new recruits. Why not offer them to experienced members? With flexibility and retraining, we can retain invaluable talent. Second, ensure full recognition and benefits for anyone injured in the line of duty, regardless of service length. An injury in training is as service-connected as one in combat. The campaign calls on policymakers to amend discharge policies and align military practice with our values. No willing service member should be left behind. You don't have to be a veteran or policymaker to make a difference. The #ReasonableRanks campaign is a grassroots movement that needs your support. Start by signing the petition on change.org-reform military discharge policies for injured service members. Your signature sends a clear message to leaders in Washington. Share the petition and these stories on social media using #ReasonableRanks. Spread awareness. Many people don't know this injustice exists. Every share and conversation builds momentum for change. Visit covenantofcourage.com to learn more, read stories, and find ways to help. Covenant of Courage relies on donations to support its mission. Stand up and say our veterans deserve better. The stories of veterans forced out are not the end, they're the start of a movement for change. #ReasonableRanks envisions a future where injury doesn't end a career, but opens new doors to service. Imagine a firefighter retrained as a drone operator or a recruit with a fracture reassigned to intelligence. This is practical, compassionate, and strengthens our military. Change won't happen overnight, it takes persistence and collective will. Every signature, every story shared builds momentum. Veterans and families are uniting for a just system. Let's build a future where no service member is told they're disposable. When they swear an oath, let's ensure our nation stands by them, always. The time for #ReasonableRanks is now. Let's answer the call.